Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the IWC Radio podcast here on YouTube. This time we'll be covering the horror show at Extreme Rules this Sunday, coming to you live from the Performance Center on the WWE Network. Joining me this evening, Chucks and Will. How you guys doing?
I'm pretty good.
I do a pretty
so
good,
high energy this show.
I do a pretty good job of the intro, and I'm just like, oh yeah, pretty good. Okay.
That's fine. Still here.
Oh.
Well, I had my first post-lockdown haircut today.
I still need to get one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I mean, it went like a haircut. The barber had to wear like a visor, but it was I had to book. It was like having, I guess this is what women do all the time. They phone to like book their hair appointments.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, right? And the price has gone up considerably, but it's fine. Yeah.
It's an essential worker now, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. They're in demand.
I haven't done the haircut yet because I managed to get it done just about 2 weeks before they opened again. So, it was going back really quickly, so I think I'll be in there fairly soon.
Mine was overdue before lockdown. It was on that kind of borderline. I'll leave it. It'll be all right. Get another couple of weeks out of this. Then I couldn't get it done. So I ended up looking like a pro wrestler.
Really?
It was so long. Yeah. Kind of like Edge or something.
I think the stuff around here, in terms of like barbershops and whatnot, like they have like these metal or not metal, but like what's the plexiglass dividers and whatnot. And everybody's got to like wear a face mask, things like that, if they're doing it. But me and Mom went out shopping today at the grocery store, and Walmart is supposedly enforcing this, like, you have to have a mask to enter the store and whatnot, but apparently they don't enforce people wearing it in the store. They just have to have it, I guess.
Just have to have it. Great.
So a lot of people were just, like, going around without a mask on, things like that. I was like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, they're not is it next week with the enforcement here?
That sounds right. Is it next weekend or something? 25th,
something like that,
I think. Yeah,
like that,
Saturday maybe.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, it kind of... I'm not one of these people who are dead set against it, because I understand the whole reason why and all that.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit kind of pointless now, because it's...
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It's I don't really get it. We're through the worst of it. The numbers are going down, especially down here in the southwest. Like, we got away with it relatively well compared to everyone else. Now we're opening up, and now I've got to put the mask. Also, I just don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I'll never wear it, but I do resent being told I have to wear it. When it was optional, it was like, hey, you should probably wear this. And that's fine. I'll be an asshole. You say I can't come in without one? No, I don't want to come in anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that around here. And
I got on a bus today for the first time since this whole thing.
Wow.
You have to wear a mask on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't too bad actually. It was a bit sweaty, but it was okay. Yeah. It's quite funny because I was with my dad and we're sat in the. You're supposed to leave a seat empty.
Yeah.
So if you're on your own, because I was with my dad, it didn't matter. So we sat next to each other. The guy gets on and gives us the dirtiest look ever because we're sat next to each other. It's like, screw you, mate. Dad. And then I went to a pub, which is even...
That must have been weird. I still haven't done that part yet.
It actually was, the first, when you go in, it's quite a quiet pub, so I suppose it must be different if it was busy. But they just took your name and a contact number,
Yeah, I hear that.
and after that, it was kind of do what you like. So, because it was quite quiet, it didn't really matter. But I imagine if it was busier, it would have been a bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the first time I've been out properly. My dad's birthday, that's why we went out. First time I've been out properly since lockdown, really. Been in shops and stuff, but nothing properly out. And I was quite surprised at how normal it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So same with the barber. There's, they're wearing plastic masks. But that's about it.
Yeah, I think people are just kind of seeking for some sort of normalcy, quote unquote.
Well, apparently, according to King Boris, we're going to be back to normal by November.
Yeah, I do saying that he's aiming for. There was some weird phrasing to it, wasn't there? It was like some degree of normal, or how did he?
Yeah.
Significant normality by Christmas.
Yeah.
Significant normality.
Because he said he wants to get rid of the social distancing by November.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And then like the science guys are like, no, can't do that. No, what are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, God, people just don't want to listen to science. And
it was kind of weird, that whole statement, though, because I don't know if you saw it, Chuck, but he spent like the first 20 minutes or so telling us how he's getting the NHS ready for a second wave and what's going to happen during the winter, because obviously more people hit the NHS. Yeah. And then as soon as he stopped that, he was like, but everywhere else is going to be open. You don't have to wear a mask from November. You can do what you like. It's like, what?
He can't help himself when he does these things. Like, he has to say everything he says. He then has to contradict with some other thing. Go to work if you can, but don't if you don't have to. What? I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah, because he's kind of passed the buck on that. It's not up to the government anymore. It's down to individual companies to say whether you should work from home or not.
I'm okay with that. Seems reasonable.
To be honest, a lot of he gets a lot of stick, but I mean, probably rightly so in some cases. But a lot of what he was saying overall does make sense. I think if you look into it.
I'm sympathetic because there's no right answer to any of it.
Well, that's it. No one's ever been here before, have they? So,
if Jeremy Corbyn had won, he would be in the same situation, not knowing what to do, and he can't make a decision to save his life anyway, so it probably wouldn't be any better.
No.
I don't know. Well, either we fail with the virus or we fail with the economy, and
I think obviously the deaths are always going to be bad, but I think we've done.
They're also inevitable.
Well, exactly, and apparently, I've seen a report today that there might not be as many dead as we think now because they were counting numbers twice or something.
Well, I know they were counting everything as a COVID death.
Yeah, that was it. That was what I read, yeah.
Especially in the US, they were counting suicides as COVID deaths.
Yeah.
like just ridiculous stuff.
Well, apparently, what our government was doing, if you got the virus and then recovered, but then died from something else, you were down as classed as a COVID death.
Yeah. And that makes our numbers look really bad, obviously. And then you compare with China, whose numbers look great, because if you have COVID and die, you don't get marked down as a COVID death. So they're doing great. That's what it should have been the whole time. Just lie. Just pretend that it's not happening. Yeah. Then you look like you're doing great.
Well, they can't try and do that first. Coronavirus, what?
Well, World Health Organization said it couldn't be transmitted between people, right? There was no human-to-human interaction for like a month or something. Yeah,
do you now, sorry, going off to a coronavirus tangent here. Do you now think that people who, if you've had the cold or of any sort of flu, you might actually be protected against it, or at least have some sort of protective cells. And that's why they think a lot more people are actually going to be immune to it than what they actually think. Or what was initially thought, anyway.
Oh, okay.
They're learning stuff about it on the daily basis, so it's kind of...
I keep being told there's like 5 new symptoms that could be corona.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
Apparently you have rash,
and then...
Yeah, rash, like vision and smell and taste was an old one. God, look out for everything.
It's weird how like some symptoms show up in people and some symptoms don't.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like apparently you can have it and not even know you've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are getting it and then having no symptoms at all, and then they're testing positive for it. It's like
crazy.
I still don't. As much as the media like to think it is going to happen, I'm kind of optimistic that this second wave isn't going to happen.
When the second wave's supposed to be a swine flu now?
Is it? Is that what it is today?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a different thing.
Oh.
Like a different strain or something like that, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a similar deal, but a different...
I did read apparently they found some strains of whatever the virus that became to be known as the plague.
Oh God, yeah.
They found that somewhere, so that'll be fun.
Don't they keep, like, certain labs or whatever actually keep every virus that's ever existed?
I heard so.
Because they don't want to be responsible for things going extinct or something like that.
Well, isn't it this place? Yeah, isn't it this place in Wuhan? That's kind of where it kicked off.
I thought they were actually like developing. I shouldn't say developing. They were researching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even things like the plague, there are actually vials of it around, just in case. No.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That'd be fun. Get nostalgic for old viruses. You know. The good old days of the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Like you knew where you were with the Spanish flu. Don't make them like that anymore.
Should we just
next year we have COVID-20?
Oh,
yeah.
Should we just get it on to the
Should we do some wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Should we talk about last week's
Speaking of horror shows,
I was trying to bring the energy down, aren't you?
Well, sorry.
So I was having a good time talking about COVID. Now we've got to talk about pro wrestling.
Well, I mean, you know, we are a wrestling podcast here, you know.
Really?
Who made that decision?
No idea. Take it to corporate. I don't know.
Blame Beans, not you.
Yeah.
Blame Beans. I haven't done that for a while.
Yeah, we don't know where he is, by the way. He hasn't been responsive to us, so I think he's just kind of unplugged from the internet for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, can't say I blame him, to be honest.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, can't blame him.
Anyway, Schmoot's itching to predict the rest of the match here, so I think we.
Well, yeah, we gotta get to Fight for the Fallen, and then the horror show. All that.
Every time you mention that name.
Sorry. Yeah.
Every time you mention the name, you have to play the sound effect. Ah!
I haven't watched WWE for so long. I don't even know what sound effect you're talking about.
Oh, it's one that goes ah every time they flash up the graphic to run down the card or whatever.
Oh no!
Before and after.
God. Another reason to avoid it.
I'm disappointed that you didn't notice it.
I haven't, no. Yeah.
It really irritated me every time it happened because it does come out of. It's like a scream that comes out of nowhere. It's like, what the? Why are you screaming at me? It makes me jump every time.
So at the horror show, I just played.
I've got to see if I can find it now.
I played the sound effect of the guy.
Oh, you. Oh,
That's like the best thing I can do right now.
I wish it was that.
Yeah, at the horror show. There we go. At Extreme Rules, which is tomorrow. And also, we gotta go over the Fight for the Fallen stuff here. So, I guess we can get into that here. We get the music and whatnot lined up. I don't have the predictions written down, so you're gonna have to tell me as we go along on the air. I'll just fill them in. But we did make them last week with the one tweet, I think from TNT, that had all the graphics and whatnot, because we pointed out how small Taz was. And then they also shrunk Arn down into the same size there. So, yeah, let's get this up on the stream here, starting up with the Fight for the Fallen. There we are. Okay. So you're gonna have to help me out with this, Chucks.
Right. Fight for the Fallen. Oh man, I don't have that one up. I've just got the horror show. Fight for the Fallen. I just watched this today, so it should be fresh in my mind, and it's not. Okay, we open the show with the TNT Championship match. Cody beat Sonny Kiss. And we all predicted that.
Okay.
So you do get a point. That's good.
Yeah.
Beans didn't predict anything again that I could find.
No, he didn't say anything. So he's still sitting at 4.
Well. He's doing really badly this year. Prediction games.
If he somehow comes back and wins this, we gotta like review some of the tape here.
Yeah. So did you watch the show? Do you?
Yes.
You did. Okay. So
I did.
You do at least know what happens. Next up was FTR in their. No, it's not their debut. Not their pay-per-view debut. But they won anyway. They beat the Lucha Brothers in a decent match, I think.
Who did I go for? Because I don't remember.
You went for FTR. We all did.
Yes. Oh.
We basically all predicted the same thing all night.
Right.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
More or less. Then the Elite beat Jurassic Express again. Points all round.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Jurassic Express just with like, if it was just still Jack Perry and Luchasaurus still like, you know, two-manning it up and get the wins here and there, but
Not a big fan of Marco.
no. But that one spot with him in the match there where he did that crazy move back into the ring.
Oh, like from the floor, he jumped right up. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was insane. That's probably like one of the best moments of his career, in my opinion.
And then after that match, Kenny Omega punched Marco a little bit. I don't know if that's a
possibly
sign he might be turning.
Possibly the cleaner or something like that. I've heard people say.
Yeah.
Which is...
Apparently they've changed his. They have actually called him the cleaner on his official profile.
Oh God. Okay, well.
So he is the cleaner again.
Big whoop. Make him a janitor or something.
Then let's see if I can find that.
I think after that was the Jericho stuff. We got slimed on with a bunch of orange stuff, like orange goo.
It was orange juice, I think. It was supposed to be orange juice.
It looked heavily watered down orange juice.
Maybe. That's even worse somehow.
Well.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy came out, gave him the thumbs down, and then a load of orange juice fell on the inner circle. And was it Ortiz, I guess, just flopped around in the orange juice.
Yeah.
It was over the top. I almost didn't like it because it was just too much, but I can't not like it. It's funny. It's guys. Jericho is now the demo god because he never loses in the key demographic. It's his new thing.
Yeah, he did mention that. I think I recall Brian Alvarez on the Wrestling Observer Live say something like he doubled the demographic that NXT had by a lot or something crazy like that. So
he's actually the funny thing is that the 18 to 49 demographic,
the important demo.
the important demo, the only one that really matters.
Yeah.
Jericho turns 50 in October, so he will no longer be in. He'll be the demo god, but not in the demo.
Yeah.
Maybe we could be building up to something there. Yeah, so he got drowned in orange juice and then had to go to the announce booth. Then we had the Nightmare Sisters beating Kenzie Page and MJ Jenkins, whoever they are. That means a point for Smoot.
Yes, this is one of those Twitter predictions. Yeah.
Me and Will thought there was going to be some kind of dissension and they would lose, but apparently they've been winning on Dark and we just didn't know about it.
Yeah, they were 3-0, and I was kind of worried if it was actually going to be established talent, like, maybe Abaddon and Anna Jay or something like that. But, no, it just seemed like they were enhancement talent that they're going up against, and unless somehow they, were going to fall apart and give, like, enhancement talent a win, which would have been great, but, no, didn't happen. So I think these two are still kind of just trying to make it go along while they wait for QT Marshall to get out of quarantine in Atlanta. I feel so.
And then the main event, Moxley beat Cage when Taz threw in the towel.
Yeah, I don't know about this. This is a kind of a weird situation here where, Moxley got the win, obviously, but not like a convincing win. Other than, he had Cage in a submission and Cage didn't tap. And then, it kind of seemed like they did this out of order where, Taz should have presented the title, the FTW title, after the loss,
You think? After the loss?
Well, he technically never tapped. Cage never tapped out. It was just...
I see, yeah, I get you.
So...
But then Taz then would cost him the match and then say that he's a champion.
Yeah, I mean...
He's a heel, I guess.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
He's allowed. Yeah, I see what you mean. That could be something. No, instead, he was given the belt. Now he's a champion that isn't recognized and just has a belt, even though he can't win.
Right.
But that's points for all of us. That was a predictable outcome, somewhat. So at the end of that one, Smoot ran away with it. 5 out of 5.
God.
Easy. Me and Will got let down by that women's tag. 2-minute match. What was the point of that? Just costing us a point for no reason. Nothing was built there. I think we should just scrap that point. Just pretend that never happened. And then in last place is Beans on nothing. So after 3, is that 3 shows? Yeah, after 3 shows, 25 matches in total. Beans is on 4 out of 25. I'm on 17, and then you two, Smoot and Will, both on 18 out of 25, doing pretty damn well.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so now we can shift all the way from AEW to WWE for tomorrow.
Oh, this is a horror show.
Oh, wait. There it is.
I miss it. I wish I could hear it. It's got to be a way.
I don't know, man. Ever since we've gone a little high tech on the microphone here, can't exactly hear the sounds anymore. I need like an actual mixer for you to actually hear the stuff. I think
Actually like a soundboard.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Probably a lot.
Too much.
Yeah, it's out of the show's budget.
The show has a budget.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't think it's that expensive anymore, You can get cheap podcast ones. But I imagine they're still pretty up there, but not what you think.
I don't even know what I'd think. 300, I think. That's what I'll think. So you're saying they're less
Sounds
than
good to me.
300? That's good. That's good. I'll have to get one.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Let's go with that. You can get one for less than 300. Guaranteed. Alright, we'll set that up for next week. I haven't seen SmackDown, so I hope nothing important happened on SmackDown.
I haven't, actually, so...
I only saw a couple of GIFs of New Day throwing their tire at Corey Graves, which is something that they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And
I approve.
Asuka and Nikki Cross like dancing on the announce table, which that I think we can throw up on the stream. I think that's safe. If I can find it here. Yeah, here we
I
are.
did see someone tweet saying it was significantly better than last week.
Yeah, there's no karaoke or anything like that whatsoever. There it is.
Oh,
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It seemed like they kind of went back to like a wrestling show for the most part, from what I collected.
I got the impression last week. Sorry, put the dancing back on, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I get the impression last week's show was because they were kind of panicking, weren't they, with the COVID tests and what have you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I kind of think it was done sort of on the fly. Whereas maybe this week they've had a chance to actually put some effort into it and thought.
So that said, I don't know if there's anything late breaking or anything like that happening.
Probably not. Let's just go with what's on the wiki then.
Yeah.
So we
It's right.
have Extreme Rules. We've got a couple of Extreme Rules, wacky stipulation matches here. A bar fight. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus in a bar fight.
Oh yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, let me put that there. Yeah, this is, I don't know. This seems a little bit tasteless because I can totally see like Sheamus trying to drown Hardy in alcohol.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. So they actually, I'm guessing they probably are having it in an actual bar.
Yeah.
Probably the friendly tap again, right?
Does Tim White still own that?
Is he still alive?
Isn't he dead? I mean, like, legit dead, like not like committing suicide.
No, he's still alive. Dude survived mad cow disease.
Yeah, and a shotgun to the head. I
Shotgun.
don't know how, but
Put his head in a fan. Like, come on.
That was a great little series.
Yeah.
There's a whole section on his Wikipedia page called the Lunchtime Suicide Series.
Yes. Yes.
I was trying to think of the name of it. The lunchtime.
I mean, if you were stuck with Josh Matthews for like week after week after week, I think you'd be in the same boat that he was.
That's a fair point. No? Is he alive?
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
Yeah, apparently he's still alive.
I thought he died quite recently. Maybe not.
I don't know why I thought that. To be honest. A different referee or something. I have no idea why I thought that. Yeah. Maybe they could use his bar. So Hardy or Sheamus winning this one?
I'll go with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, weird. I'm not actually seeing it on the WWE thing here. Is it on Wikipedia?
It is on Wikipedia.
Did it get announced?
But it doesn't link to the WWE site.
Weird.
That is weird.
Maybe they. Out of all the things they realized that it might be tasteless, that's the one match, really.
Just wasn't there some again, I'm getting it off Twitter, so I don't know if it's true or not. Some debate on whether Sheamus was going to be okay to be a part of the show.
Interesting.
Really?
I don't know why, whether he's not been tested or not been tested or failed a test, or I don't know.
19 hours ago, eWrestling News reported that it's been moved.
Really?
Yeah. Also on SmackDown, it was announced that Sheamus' bar fight with Jeff Hardy will not be taking place at the horror show at Extreme Rules as originally planned. Due to the low ratings recently, the bar fight will instead take place during next week's SmackDown.
So let me get this straight. So you're gonna move a match that's being hyped up for a pay-per-view off of the pay-per-view to the same show that's been getting low ratings.
Yeah, to try and boost the ratings.
Ugh.
They've gone full TNA.
Wow. Okay. So I should not have put this on. I've just refreshed the wiki page and it's disappeared from the thing. Wow.
There's a table with all the matches refreshed and it's gone. Someone else has seen this.
Interesting.
In the last few minutes.
I would go with Hardy for the record.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but I would too.
Okay.
So instead, let's start out with. Oh man, that's a kind of brutal one. Let's start out with an eye for an eye.
Oh god.
Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins. Someone has to lose an eye.
You know, maybe. This is my kind of thinking here, okay?
Great.
So Rollins has been kind of like teasing this whole thing. He even like referenced eye for an eye in a promo like before this whole pandemic started, way back when. He's been kind of getting on Mysterio's case here. Mysterio, reportedly working without a contract. I mean, that alone makes it seem like Rollins is gonna probably win. However, because he's the Monday Night Messiah, and he's parading around as this whole, like, oh, I'm like a disciple from Jesus, or whatever the fuck. I think he's gonna lose. I think he's gonna lose this match. He's gonna lose an eye. Be sporting an eye patch for for like a couple weeks, and then realize he has like Jesus powers, and then all he's got to do is just be like, "Be healed," and it'll just like, have an eye
Jesus
back.
healed the blind.
Right.
He can heal himself.
Exactly.
Right.
So going off of that crazy logic alone, I'm going for Mysterio to win and keep both of his eyes.
You could say, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was
Pretty
thinking
good logic.
maybe he could just come out with whatever you call it, a depot, like a name change that says, I now win this match because I have had Rey Mysterio's name changed to Rey Mysterio. You have lost your eye.
My god. Oh, in the name, yeah.
Right? In his name, he's lost an eye.
Gotcha.
Therefore, Seth Rollins is the winner. Or maybe Rey Mysterio could do that and say that Seth Rollins is now Seth Rollins. Either way, I think that's a brilliant way out of this.
Yeah. If only. Or, hear me out on this, because Mysterio, again, reportedly without a contract, he wins the match by, yoinking out the eye from Rollins, and then he shows up on Dynamite, and then he just tosses it in a garbage bin. A la Medusa on Nitro.
Could happen. Or Seth Rollins somehow, I don't know how you're going to explain it, but he gets Buddy Murphy to take his own eye out in place of Seth Rollins. Because, he kind of owns him as a disciple.
It's true.
So Seth Rollins is like, I care so much about you, and you are, you're the chosen one. that you losing an eye is like me losing an eye. You know, maybe it's Buddy Murphy that takes the blinding. Kind of like throwing in the towel. He's going to throw in his eye.
I think you're all mad. Initially, I did think they weren't actually going to go ahead with the whole iPhone eye thing until I read somewhere that apparently they are literally going to do this in some sort of CGI craziness.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see somebody actually yoink out an eye.
Well, no, I didn't expect that, but didn't they go as far as doing the whole CGI thing, either?
I thought someone would just cover their eye and there would be some like a blood packet or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You wouldn't actually see like the eye hanging out, but they're actually gonna like CGI in like a fake eye.
CGI. Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah, I'm just on what they're doing with it. I don't know. See, when's Becky due to have a baby?
Why? What are you thinking?
It's just
make a baby lose an eye.
I'm just thinking he's going to be taking some time off.
That's true.
Whether or not he gets his eye out or not, I don't really care. But
I don't think it's this quick. Because she only just left in like 8 months.
Yeah, that's a bit quick. Yeah, I was reading about the Mysterio contract thing as well. That's interesting. I'll go Mysterio.
Shucks.
It's a difficult one.
It is.
Because
I'm kind of hoping that.
Revenge. So?
Well, yeah. Sorry, go on.
He should get his revenge. Seth Rollins is really boring and could do with some time off.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like maybe Murphy is involved somehow, so Ray can get the win without Rollins needing to, lose an eye.
Also Dominic.
Oh, maybe don't. But then, that's the other thing. If Rollins beats Mysterio again, then Dominic can get his revenge and he can be like the main, whatever they move on to. But I just can't see Rollins winning again. Ray's already lost an eye once. You can't just lose another eye.
What's the point? Yeah, you already did it once. Yeah.
Yeah, but how's Mysterio going to pull out the eye? That's the other thing I'm kind of worried about.
The spoon.
Melon baller. Yeah.
I don't know. Why is that a problem? How would Seth do it? Ray could just do it the same way.
I mean, I could see Seth Rollins just scooping in, just like a claw game. Just down. But, like, I mean, how's Mysterio gonna do it? Now I'm kind of second guessing my pick here.
He's gonna claw it the same way, surely. He's got fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got, like, gloves on. It's gonna be hard to, get a grasp on.
Rollins has one glove on.
Well, he's not gonna use the gloved hand on.
Which hand does he have the glove on? Is it his right hand?
Oh, I don't remember.
Because if he's right-handed, then that's the one he's going to want to use.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll stick with Mysterio.
You're going with Mysterio as well? Yeah, I will too.
Okay.
To hell with the contract situation.
Although, again, I really would like to see him on Dynamite with the eyeball and just dump it in the trash. Ratings. This is what I think of Seth Rollins' eyeball. And just plunk.
We could do the other one. Put it in the fire to observe this.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Observe this, brother. Oh, what a mark. All right. Anyway.
What a mark. So next up we have the Wyatt Swamp fight. This is not for the Universal Championship, so that means Bray Wyatt's winning.
Yeah.
It's his step. I mean, he's got to win it.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, it is Bray Wyatt, so he does typically lose on pay-per-views, but that hasn't really been employed for years now, so... Yeah, I'll go with Wyatt.
You're going with Wyatt as well?
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, same.
Wyatt. And then maybe the Fiend can get a title match next time around.
Something like that, sure.
Something like that. Then we have the US title match. We're into the title matches now already. US champion Apollo Crews and US title belt holder MVP. I don't know what the situation is with these two. Who's going to take the belts home?
Just like Brian Cage and Moxley.
Kinda.
I mean, Apollo just won it, you know? Like...
Yeah.
Have they lost Apollo, by the way? Like, has he gone missing or something? I don't know. 2 weeks he's been missing from Raw with no explanation whatsoever. Somehow MVP's given him a new title while he's been missing.
Quarantine. Maybe he's one of the,
Maybe, actually.
Yeah.
I thought of that, actually. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Always thinking over here. Always thinking.
Well done, yeah. Inspector Smoot.
I'll go with Apollo.
That would be kind of right as well, because you're in quarantine for 2 weeks, isn't it? So
Yeah.
he's going to be out just in time for his match to... Yeah, he's winning.
Yeah, I've got him as well. It would be cool for MVP to win. He has been the MVP for a long time now. He's the best performer on every show.
Apollo wins via Lashley throwing in the towel for MVP.
Yes. It just seems kind of weird for MVP to have a belt and not Lashley.
Yeah.
So maybe Crews wins, gets the new title belt, then Lashley has to go after him and win it off him. Maybe. We lose one bar fight, but we've at least got half a bar fight because Cesaro's gone for the tag titles again. He's got a new tag partner. It's not Sheamus, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, and they are challenging the New Day for. Oh, it's in a tables match. I didn't even see that. It's a tables match now.
And Will, you're going with Apollo as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Let's see if we can get some different predictions on this one. We've got the same the whole way through so far.
I'm going to go for Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, honestly.
God damn it. I want a different predictions. I'm going with them as well. Cesar Mura. Is that your final answer, Smoot?
Yeah, I'll lock in with that. They could use the gold, you know? Especially Cesaro. He's probably one of the most underutilized, underrated talents on the roster, you know? You don't really hear much from him, or he doesn't really, you know, garner enough attention, and the company doesn't really get in his corner enough, I feel. So he definitely could use the championship, like I said. And same with Nakamura. He kind of flew under the radar before this pandemic as like the Intercontinental Champion somehow. And again, WWE doesn't really utilize their talents in certain situations, and I think he kind of got like a little bit thrown to the wayside. So I think it would help out both of them quite well.
Yeah, and the New Day can always come back from losing tag belts. We know that.
Very true, yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time. Let's see what the situation is with the women's title. So right now, Bayley is a champion on SmackDown. Sasha Banks is going for the Raw women's title. They're also the tag champions right now. So do they have all the belts at the end? Or do they lose them? Or do they swap over? Many different things could happen here. Let's start with Bailey and Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
There's probably a vein throbbing in Vince McMahon's forehead for Bailey having like 2 titles. Because supposedly he's not a fan of talents having more than one championship. Let's see here. Nikki Cross. I would
don't
say.
think Nikki's beating
yeah, I would love it if she did. Bailey's had the title for quite some time. However, I just don't see Nikki being the one. So I'm going to stick with Bailey here, which probably means Nikki's actually going to win.
Will, how about you?
I'm going Bailey.
Bailey as well. Well, I'll be that guy then.
Uh-oh.
Nikki Cross is winning it. I know what you mean. It doesn't seem like the right thing to do somehow. She doesn't seem like a title challenger. I'm going to go with it. I think they're going to do something new, and like you said, get the double champion thing out of the way. This is Nikki Cross's time, and then maybe Alexa can get jealous, and then that brings them up.
I like that idea. I can see that.
Then let's move over to the other side then. Asuka and Sasha Banks. Does Asuka retain so that we don't have any double champion situation?
Yeah.
Or does Sasha win so that now she is the double champion and Bailey maybe isn't?
I'm well done.
And now the focus is off the role model.
I mean, they could flip flop it, like I said. Give Sasha the title here, and then she can kind of brag to Bailey a little bit.
Exactly.
So I could definitely see that being a thing. I'm just gonna play it safe here. Play it and pick Asuka.
I'm gonna go Sasha. I think they're getting all the belts.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go with Asuka. So we've all got different plans for this situation then. I like that. That's different.
Yeah.
Now we just need Beans to come in and predict that Sasha and Nikki will win. And we'll have full bases covered.
Yeah.
Main event. Now, we don't know what match this is going to be. It's a to-be-determined match, because Ziggler has... somehow he won the right to pick the stipulation and hasn't done it yet. It's good strategy. Not good for marketing a pay-per-view, but it's good strategy. So I'm happy with that. Dolph Ziggler challenging Drew McIntyre in a something match for the WWE Championship.
What if Ziggler picked like a only Drew can have like his arms and legs tied behind his back somehow, so that you can pin him and then wins the WWE title?
Yeah, it's call it a being Dolph Ziggler match, and then he just wins.
Yeah, the Ziggler wins match by Ziggler winning. There you go.
Yeah.
First of its kind. It's probably going to be like a ladder match or something here. I really don't see him doing anything too extravagant. I mean, considering the confinements of the Performance Center.
I want to say cage match.
Yeah, it might be a cage as well.
That'd be so lame.
Yeah.
I don't think
It would. That's why I think it's going to be a cage match.
I see it.
I mean, the obvious match would be McIntyre Slater, you know, for the title. Not McIntyre and Ziggler. I mean, that's...
Could it be something like a handicap match with Bobby Roode coming back?
Who gives a
Ziggler
fuck?
did mention that AJ
Vince.
went to SmackDown and swapped Ziggler and Roode.
No offense, but who gives a fuck about Bobby Roode right now?
Dolph Ziggler, if he can help.
It's more deflective to this build to introduce another party that has nothing to do with the actual title right now.
I think it's going to be a handicap match with Bobby Roode.
You know, I mean, we can make that a bonus point here. Like, what's main event step? No ladder. Handicap with Rude. Will, what do you think the stip's going to be?
I'm going to go Cage.
Cage, okay. All good choices, I'll say that. I'll go... gotta be McIntyre. I'm sorry.
It does. Yeah.
I think they kind of want to keep the title on him until they get like a live crowd, just to really gauge how, you know, how well received he is and whatnot.
There was also that thing about MVP wanting to be the guy that costs him the belt. And he kind of made it his mission. Like, when you lose that, it'll be because of me. So if he doesn't seem to be involved in this so far,
I mean,
could be next time.
WWE's one Kenny King away from just resurrecting the Beatdown Clan. So I mean,
wasn't like Loki involved in that as well?
I think later on, yeah. So who are you picking?
McIntyre for me as well.
Even if it was a handicap.
Oh yeah, especially if it's a handicap.
Okay. And Will.
What's it? Galloway, is it? Yeah, McIntyre.
Galloway.
Right. What a mark.
Alright.
Okay, that's a lot of very similar predictions here.
Yeah, it's I kind of like it. I like some of the. I mean, it's still a tightly contested race early on in the season here, but I mean, you kind of have like a few splits here and there, and then we get to see who gets to nudge themselves out in the front. Hopefully, it's me. Not Beans, wherever he's at. So that is our horror show at Extreme Rules Predictions. There you go. Anything else you guys want to add, real quick, before we get out of here?
That's about it, I think.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow week, isn't it? Apart from.
Yeah, right before we went live, Joey Ryan published a nearly an hour-long video of him refuting.
I've just seen someone tweeting that, yeah.
Of him refuting the claims, and I might watch it. I don't know. Dude's got a lot of fucking damage to try to clean up, I feel.
Apparently, Slammiversary is on now.
Huh.
Like right now.
Oh yeah, Slammiversary. Yeah, that. If you real quick, if you want to know if TNA was still in business.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, but I assume since they're operating pay-per-views.
I want to know if Impact is still in business. Yeah, they are. See?
Smashing.
There you go. Okay. Anything else?
Apparently, our world will change at Slammiversary.
Yeah, that probably just means EC3 is coming back.
They are teasing a former Impact World Champion will return.
Yeah, EC3.
Yeah. Okay. I won't watch that. Not that I was going to anyway.
Anything else before we get out of here? So I don't have to loop this music anymore?
No, that's it.
Okay.
I think I'm done.
Alright, well, we'll be back next week with the results from the horror show at Extreme Rules. And a lot of sound effects going off here today. And we hope you have a great weekend, enjoy wrestling, and hopefully we'll get Beans back on the show at some point. So take care, everybody. Have a good one.